Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the, what is today, the 4th of December, 2019, to talk about everything that went down tonight on AEW Dynamite. I thought tonight's show was just an okay show. I didn't think it was that great of a show. Thought it could have been better. Some things on there that I'm like, okay, that's going to happen, and then what? Especially with the Ali Awesome Kong thing, and I'll get to that when we get to it, but I don't know. Sorry for being late, guys. I was trying to fix an audio issue to where when people call, I can't hear it for some reason, so I'm unable to take calls right now. Hopefully I can get that fixed. We can take calls after SmackDown on Friday. Oh, no, tomorrow after the NXT review. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hopefully I can get it fixed, and I can take calls tomorrow. But for some reason, I tested it right before we went live here, and it just... Kristen McNutt, you're getting a timeout. I'm not going to tolerate that. We don't need people talking smack or crap or being rude. Especially when, I was going to say it, you were rude in her video saying that you didn't want her around anyways, and now you're, anyway, I don't even want to start. But, no, Jack Dawson, Nick and I didn't do a podcast this week. Nick's been under the weather. We thought maybe he would be better today to do one this morning, and he's still under the weather. He's got a really bad throat thing going on, like he could barely talk. But anyways, can't take calls tonight. Hope you guys can hear me fine. It's all good. Derek Bochuk, why would I be going to SmackDown in December? WWE is not coming here to Fresno until February. And that's actually going to be a super show, Raw and SmackDown at a live event. And I hear there's going to be more of them Raw and SmackDown together super shows in 2020 than, than normal. It's going to be more of the normal thing. I guess they're cutting back. But with that, we're not here to talk about WWE. We're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite came to us tonight from Champaign, Texas. And like I said, I thought it was just an okay show. Show kicked off with Dustin Rhodes and the Young Bucks defeating Santana Ortiz and Sammy Guevara. The Bucks and Dustin ran wild early on. Oh, gotcha, Jason. Okay, my bad. The Bucks and Dustin ran wild early on. All three hit a triple super kick. Matt hit a high cross off the post to the floor onto all three opposing members. Nick hit a corkscrew dive while Dustin hit a simultaneous flip dive off the apron. Matt tried a double Northern Lights suplex sequence and got cut off. Matt blocked a delayed vertical suplex, and Guevara made a hot tag to Dustin. No. Matt made the hot tag to Dustin. Why did I write that wrong? Dustin hit 3 power slams and a crossbody. Then he hit Santana with a destroyer for a near fall. Dustin got cut off after a shot with a loaded sock by Proud and Powerful. Guevara hit a 630 senton for a near fall. Guevara hit a double stomp off the top onto Matt for another near fall. Guevara then grabbed his phone and started, I guess, vlogging or live streaming, or I don't know exactly what, but he jumped off the top into a double super kick. Nick hit a missile drop kick into a double pile driver combo. Basically, both Matt and Dustin had, I forget who exactly they had, but they had 2 of their opponents in like the tombstone position, and then Nick came off the top rope. They did a Meltzer driver. Both guys got spiked, and Matt pinned Sammy Guevara. Fun little opening match, probably one of the best things on the show. I do have to say there were audio issues. I don't know if anybody else got those issues. I did have a couple glitches on the video as well, and I was using the Watch TNT app to watch it, so I don't know if maybe that was something that was just on that app or if that was actually on the actual broadcast, whether you watched on satellite or cable as well. I don't know. We then got Rey Fenix versus Trent. This is a good match. It was okay. A lot of action, but not much heat for this one. Phoenix hit a dropkick early, and he teased a muscle buster, but Trent blocked it. He teased a dude buster, and Phoenix blocked that. Phoenix mixed a 619, but hit one to Trent's leg on the second attempt. Phoenix grabbed the right arm and worked it over as we went to commercial break. And again, with using the TNT app, I don't get to see the commercials, so I don't get the picture-in-picture, so I have no clue what went on during the break, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, too. After the break, Phoenix tried a tornillo. Trent blocked it with a dropkick, then hit a half-and-half suplex. They brawled to the floor. Phoenix was sent into the barricade. Trent came back with a spear on the floor. Back in the ring, Trent hit a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Trent tried a monkey flip, and Phoenix blocked it and hit a power bomb for a 2. Phoenix hooked Trent's leg in the ropes. Phoenix ran the top rope and connected with a kick. Trent answered with an awesome lariat. They traded chops on the apron. Phoenix hit a springboard double stomp to the floor. Phoenix then tried a springboard attack off the top. Trent got his knees up, and he hit a stiff pile driver for a 2. Phoenix finally hit a pop-up cutter and a rolling kick, then connected with a muscle buster to defeat Trent Beretta. Well, actually, I digress. He's not Trent Beretta in AEW. He's just simply Trent. And I also forgot to mention, new stage setup tonight for Dynamite. They had the 2 entrances coming out of each side, but they had one big screen in the middle instead of 2 screens, one above each entranceway. And they used the Full Gear ramp where it was level with the ring post or the ring itself. And we saw a lot of action on that because they actually used it to where you can wrestle on the ramp there, and because it's level with the ring, you can use the ropes to bounce off of and stuff. So we saw that a couple times tonight too. Cody then came out to cut a promo. He was kind of interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Cody mentioned the attack last night by the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. He mentioned his wife cutting the hair of people and the women's division. He said no one came to his aid last week, and his best friend turned on him at Full Gear. He feels alone. He said he saw something in Max when nobody else did. He made a snide reference to MJF not doing a good Crossroads. He even said, yeah, they botched that move on 2 channels now. I think he was making a reference to Damian Priest doing his version of the Crossroads. Another shot at WWE. Get over it, fuckers. He said that MJF, he knew that MJF was a bad guy, but he thought he was his bad guy. He said that MJF has vowed to never face Cody. And if you didn't see, MJF put out a tweet. Remember when Cody first left WWE? And he put out his list of, these are things that I want to do now that I'm a free agent and I can do whatever I want. I'm not shackled down by WWE. And MJF put out one of his own, a piece of paper, but all it said was, I will never face Cody Rhodes. So Cody said, I know that Max said he'll never face me, but how about I make him an offer? About my truck. I know you love my Ford. How about this watch? This watch means everything to me. It was a gift from Tony Khan. You want my shoes? Here's my shoes. Then he calls in Justin Roberts and says, can you bring me the briefcase? Justin Roberts brings him in a briefcase, and he says, this briefcase has more than $50,000 in it. He then took $100 and pretended like he was going to throw it to the crowd. I'm surprised he didn't do that. Let me hear you say, oh. But he didn't do it. And instead, he ended up giving a kid in the front row, dressed all nice, $100 bill. I wonder what that kid's going to go spend that $100 bill on. Cody should have been funny. Did the line, don't spend it all in one place now. But he told MJF, name your price and we'll fight. In the back, Alex Marvez interviewed Joey Janela. Marvez wanted to know why Janela was willing to face Moxley again. Janela said this time, if Moxley wants to beat him, he'll have to kill him. Moxley walked in, said, kids, and then walked off. We then got another Dark Order hype video. This one was kind of cool. Nyla Rose then entered for her match with Leva Bates. During her entrance, they showed a video of Rose attacking Shanna at a pre-show meet and greet. I think this is actually something that was filmed last week. They had put it up on social media. So Rose won with the Beast Bomb and a very quick squash of Leva Bates. The other librarian, Peter Avalon, tried to interfere, but Rose hit both with double chokeslam. Shanna ran down, tried to make the save, and got power slammed for her trouble. So then, this was during a break, but like I said, I didn't get to see the commercial breaks, but I saw the clip. Rose set up a table and powerbombed referee Rick Knox and Shanna through the table. And then, AEW spoofed Britt Baker from TakeOver. So if you don't remember, at the end of NXT TakeOver War Games, Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole flew off the top of the cage, crashed through a table, Ciampa pinned Cole. Everybody was shocked. And then they showed Britt Baker with her hands covering her mouth like, holy crap, what did we just see? And and Morrow said, that's Britt Baker, Cole's girlfriend. Well, they made fun of that. After both Shanna and Knox were powerbombed through the table, they then cut to a shot of Britt Baker in the front row with her hands covering her mouth. And we hear Jim Ross go, that's Dr. Britt Baker. And then, of course, we had to hear Excalibur go, yeah, she's Adam Cole's girlfriend. Again, WWE didn't do it on purpose. It was 100% complete accident. Why does AEW feel like they got to spoof it? Do their own basically parody it. It's so dumb. Why the hell do they have to take all these shots at WWE? It was stupid. I'm getting so tired of AEW and their shots at WWE. Don't worry about what the fuck they do. Don't worry about what WWE does on their show, even if it's with one of your talent by accident. You, to me, come off inferior, a little afraid, taking shots at them like, ooh, we gotta make fun of them. We gotta say that we're better than them because we don't want the people to think we're lesser. So we gotta make them think we're not scared. No, it's fucking bullshit. I don't like it at all. I hate all these inside references and shots at WWE. It's just dumb. So Jericho came out and he entered with Jake Hager, and he said, so, powers that be have informed me that I'm being forced, and I have to wrestle at least one more time in 2019 before the end of the year, and I will be wrestling, I think they said, in Corpus Christi on December 18th. Jericho then introduced his new list. Actually, it was the Lexicon of Le Champion. Again, I get that was Jericho's gimmick in WWE. But you're not in WWE anymore. You spoofed Festival of Friendship last week. Now you're spoofing your own damn list idea thing. I know that was not his full idea. Jimmy Jacobs has been given credit on actually coming up with that. But it's just like, come up with something original. I get that the list was huge for you. It was a massive thing. But it's dead, it's done, it's gone. It's in your past, move on. So Jericho said that he was being forced to face somebody on December 18th. The crowd popped when he mentioned a list. Jericho told them, get out of 2016. He then, like I said, introduced the Lexicon of the Champion, a list of people that he would not agree to face. And he said John Moxley after every third name. Finally, a name that we didn't hear was Jungle Boy. He came down with Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. Luchasaurus did some dinosaur humor. Jericho said children and dinosaurs were next on his list in reference to Stunt and Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy would then step forward and speak for the very first time, but not before Jericho would say, "Hey, look, it's Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Hollywood royalty. I love the Jungle Boy." Jericho said, "But this is not the case. Jungle Boy's a piece of shit, and you can't even last 10 minutes in the ring with me." Jungle Boy then said, "I can last 10 minutes with you, and I'm going to whoop your ass." He then proceeded to slap Jericho. Jericho, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Jake Hager, Marco Stunt, they all had a little pull apart here before Jericho and Hager retreated. Though they did let us know basically 2 minutes later, main event for December 18th will be Jungle Boy taking on Jericho, but it's a non-title match. They didn't state that the title's on the line, and why would the title be on the line? Jericho even said it. "Hey, Jungle Boy, you haven't won a single match here in AEW. So next up, we got Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. And now I know why WWE was trying to recruit Chris Statlander earlier this year. She's freaking great. Her versus Hikaru Shida, best women's match yet in AEW, bar none. Statlander did a bunch of cartwheels. Shida responded with a chop. They traded heavy chops. Shida tried her springboard knee attack off of a chair on the floor, but Statlander caught her incoming, tossed her into the inside, and then proceeded to work Shida over. After a commercial break, Shida hit an enziguri on the apron, then connected with a running knee off the apron to the floor. Shida then hit a missile dropkick for a near fall. Cody and... Statlander rolled to the apron. Shida superplexed her back inside for a 2. Shida tried a running knee, but Statlander blocked. They traded enziguris. Statlander then hit an electric chair and then a scissor kick for a near fall. Shida picked up 2 quick near falls off of a cradle and a knee strike. Statlander hit a Falcon Arrow for 2. Statlander then hit a package tombstone and pinned Shida for the upset victory. The unranked, going into this week, the unranked Chris Statlander defeated the number 1 ranked Hikaru Shida. So I would assume Statlander at least makes it into the 5th spot, if not higher. They did let us know also during this commercial, or during this match, that QT Marshall and Cody will be taking on the Butcher and the Blade. Randomly just announced it during this match. They did it with a different match later, too. It's their thing. They just interrupt talking about the matches. I get why they do it. It's supposed to be like, we've got breaking news from the back. Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall next week. We'll be facing the Butcher and the Blade. I get it. They did it later where they go, oh, we got breaking news. Proud and Powerful have made a challenge next week to the Young Bucks. So we're getting that match next week, too. But after the match, out would come Brandy Rhodes and Awesome Kong. Brandy came out and said, everyone's been trying to talk about what me and Kong are doing and what we are and why I've changed. We are the Nightmare Collective, an extension of a bigger family, the Nightmare Family. Kind of a Star Trek play here. That's a Star Trek thing. They have the Borg Collective, an extension of the Borg family. And we know Cody loves him some Star Trek. Brandy then said that she wants to recruit into her group, her collective. And she was giving Chris Statlander the opportunity to be the first to join them, to pledge herself to them. And Statlander hesitated. We then start hearing, me, I want to pledge, I want to pledge. And at first my thought was, you need people to pledge to you? What are you, the fucking female Dark Order? And so this girl comes out of the crowd. I loved Excalibur, I think it was Excalibur, on commentary goes, well, our shoddy security just lets any random fan in. Like, fuck. So she comes up onto the stage, the ramp, and she pulls up her little ponytail. She's like, cut it. And Kong chops it off. She then pulls out her big ponytail. And Brandy's like, cut it all off. And then they just go to commercial break. Now remember, I don't get to see the commercials if I'm using the TNT Watch app. So the show comes back. Like, I don't get to see the picture-in-picture. So the show comes back, and it's just Christopher Daniels and Pentagon coming down for their match. No mention of what just happened. No, like, well, that was weird. Nothing. It was like nothing weird and out of the ordinary happened. But apparently, what I did not see is during the break on the picture-in-picture, shaved her head, this girl. And I'm like, oh, so you're a mixture of the Dark Order and Straight Edge Society. No, it's not like Mighty Molly or Molly Holly Gable Perez. She got her head shaved because she lost a hair versus hair match. This is more like, what's her goddamn name? I can't remember. She works at the PC. She's a trainer now for WWE. Serena Deeb. This is like Serena Deeb when she joined the Straight Edge Society out of the crowd and shaved her head. But my whole issue with this was they cut to commercial right in the middle of Kong chopping her second or starting to chop her second ponytail off. Okay, you got the picture-in-picture. But what about people that don't get to see the picture-in-picture? What about people that are using the TNT app? Are they not aware that when they go to commercial, you just get a splash screen of the TNT logo and it says your show will return after commercial break? Because I didn't know they shaved her head. And you just come back and just start the next match like nothing. I wanted some sort of a follow-up. I wanted some sort of a... So that was like Tony Schiavone or Jim Ross. So that was weird. A random fan from the crowd just gets her head shaved by Awesome Kong and Brandy. What does this all mean? I wanted something. I got nothing. I just felt like, to me, someone who didn't see the commercial or anything, it was just... They were cutting her ponytail off. Go to commercial. Everyone runs to the back. Super rando. Again, a little bit of follow-up wouldn't hurt. But then we got Pentagon versus Christopher Daniels. Pentagon used a variety of kicks and enziguris to establish control in the early going. There was a lengthy commercial break. After the break, they fought on the ramp. Pentagon teased a destroyer on the ramp, but Daniels blocked it. Daniels tried a springboard facebuster, but slipped on the top rope. I don't think that was a botch. I think that was a planned spot because the ref never checked on Daniels after he fell. And they just kept on wrestling like he was fine, like nothing happened. And then Excalibur was like, oh, that could still be a side effect of when he was injured and took that head injury. So I think that was a planned spot. I had somebody ask me, hey, did he really fall off the ropes? And I'm like, I think it was planned because the ref didn't even check on him. So Daniels tried a facebuster, but slipped on the ropes. They rolled back into the ring where Daniels made a comeback. Daniels hit a right hand and an angel's wings for a near fall. The finish then saw Phoenix run down and throw Daniels' mic stand into the ring. Both Daniels and Pentagon teased using it as a weapon, but ultimately neither did. Phoenix then distracted the ref. Pentagon hit a low blow and a package pile driver to pin Daniels. This match had its moments, but it was just a match for me. We then got a video package with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. Allie was saying that they're sick and tired of Cody. They're sick of seeing him everywhere as the face of the company, on billboards, on posters, on talk shows. And now, they've come into his house to cut the head off the snake. Why do we need another heel group? We've got the Dark Order. We've got the Dark Women and Brandy and Awesome Kong. So you need a mesh of a dark group with males and females? Who the fuck knows? Joey Janela then took on Jon Moxley here, with Jon Moxley picking up the victory. They started early with some actual wrestling holds. Tony Schiavone asked Excalibur if he was surprised how much actual wrestling they were doing early on. Moxley used a wristlock takedown. Janela hit a double sledge off the top. Moxley then used a surfboard and then an STF. They brawled to the floor as we went to the last break. After the break, they came back inside of the ring, and Moxley hit an X-Plex for a 2. So Moxley hits this damn X-Plex. And both Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone act like they've never seen Jon Moxley do that move before. They were like, what was that kind of a throw? What was that move? And Excalibur had to kind of try to explain it, and it's like, dude, Moxley uses that move in every single match he's had in the company. And they're going to act like they've never seen him do this move that they felt was like an outstanding feat of strength kind of thing. Pick him up for a suplex kind of move and flip him, drop him. Like, do you guys not pay attention when Moxley wrestles? He does that move, the X-Plex, in every match. So, moving forward, Moxley then teased a paradigm shift on the ramp. Janela blocked it and hit a tornado DDT on the ramp instead. Janela then hit a tope suicida. Moxley teased another paradigm shift off the second rope, but Janela countered into a crucifix bomb. They traded strikes and lariats. Janela then suplexed Moxley into the bottom turnbuckle. Moxley rolled outside. Janela hit a senton off the post to the floor. Cameras missed it, though. Janela tossed Moxley inside and hit a top rope elbow for a 2. Moxley responded with a top rope paradigm shift and then hit a second paradigm shift to pick up the victory. Good match here. Probably second best match of the night behind the opening 6-man. After the match, the music of Chris Jericho would play, and Moxley starts looking around, and Jericho comes down through the crowd just like Moxley did 1 week ago. Moxley stares at Jericho. Jericho just walks down the stairs. We go off the show. The show ends. So they're teasing Moxley versus Jericho. It's going to be a big match down the line, but when? I have a feeling it could be coming at that big January 1st show. I don't know this for sure, but I think this match, teasing it now, it's too early to wait for that next pay-per-view in late February, early March. So you've got to do it sometime sooner. So I think we're either getting this on the 1st or we're getting this at the Bash of the Beach show. That's when I think we're going to get Jericho versus Moxley. Because that show on January 1st is called The Homecoming. It's supposed to be a big deal show from Daly Place where they held Fight for the Fallen. No. Yeah, Fight for the Fallen. So that's supposed to be a big deal show. But also the Bash of the Beach show is supposed to be a big deal show from Miami. So I can see this match taking place on either of those shows. I don't see it taking place on the cruise itself. So we'll see with that. It was AEW Dynamite. Do have one text message here. Person says the fan that got her head shaved was Melanie Cruz. Oh, okay. I've heard the name before. Not really familiar with her work or anything, but I know I've heard the name. But again, with that, that's going to do it for tonight's episode. Tonight's recap of AEW Dynamite. I want to thank everybody who did watch live, everybody who participated in the chat, and everybody who watched later right here on YouTube or listened on podcast services all around the world. Luke Might, I do believe Nick is feeling better. Thanks for asking. With that, we will be live again tomorrow night, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, to talk about NXT. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.